How's it going, guys? My name is Franker and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be doing our Crypto.com Visa Card 2025 video. So just going over pretty well everything you guys need to know with regards to the Crypto.com Visa Cards, all the different rewards, how to access it, fees and restrictions, things like that. So we're just going to be doing a pretty holistic video. This might take a little bit of time. That's why we dedicate a whole video to the Visa cards. We just recently did our Crypto.com review in under half an hour. That's what we were going for. We got there by 2 seconds. So in that video, we didn't cover the Visa cards too much, but we covered everything else Crypto.com has to offer. And then we leave out some sections like this so we can take a deeper dive into all the different aspects of Crypto.com, because otherwise these videos would be taking hours. So if you do enjoy this sort of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are very close to 1,000 subscribers. That is our goal for this year. And if you do enjoy, hit that like button, comment any questions you have down in the description below. And we do also have referral codes. If you guys do think that Crypto.com would be for you, you can access some free CRO when you sign up. But without further ado, let's just jump straight into the video. So what is the Crypto.com Visa Card? Well, this is a pretty good overview by Google's AI. The Crypto.com Visa Card is a prepaid debit card that can be used to make purchases and withdraw money from ATMs. It is available in Australia and can be used at most major merchants online and in store. You can see there's a whole bunch of different features, how it works, yada yada. But essentially, in order to access the Visa card, you need to lock up a certain amount of Crypto.com's native token CRO, or Kronos for the extended version. And once you do that, you can then start to access unique rewards from Crypto.com, such as cashback. You can see cashback, free subscription reimbursements, a whole bunch of different stuff, staking, yielding. There's a lot of good rewards that come with the Visa cards. But in essence, it is at the end of the day just a Visa card. So you can spend this anywhere where Visa is accepted, Visa or MasterCard, and spend cryptocurrencies or fiat just like normal. Just like you normally would, to access some extra bonus rewards. So where is the Crypto.com Visa card available? I struggled to actually find a definitive list. Normally you can find definitive lists. Like there's one for like where it's available in Europe, but I don't want to go through like 7 different lists. But essentially, the Crypto.com Visa card is offered in many of the same regions where Crypto.com operates. If you have access to Crypto.com services in your area, chances are you also get the Visa card. It's available in key markets like the United States, Canada, Australia, most of Europe, and parts of Asia, among other regions. So you can see there's a bit of a list there for Europe. I think there's a couple more countries as well, such as the UK, that aren't on that list for some reason. But it is essentially available in all of your major markets. It is still expanding. Just recently we saw Latin America get added. We also saw some Middle Eastern countries get added to the Visa card program. So it is available very universally for the most part. And as it does say in this, if you do have access to the Crypto.com app, chances are you have access to the Crypto.com Visa card program. But you may just need to do a quick Google search of if it's available in your country, or maybe it's not even in the App Store, or the Crypto.com app. So that would definitely be a hindrance. But yeah, just go do your own research on this one, where it's available, but it is available in most major markets. Okay, so how to apply for the Crypto.com Visa card program. So the Crypto.com Visa card is the largest crypto program of its kind in the world. Our beautifully crafted metal cards offer generous spending rewards paid in crypto, which is paid in CRO, rebates for your favorite subscription services, and many more perks. Refer here to all the details on benefits. We'll go through the benefits shortly. But essentially, no monthly fee, no annual fee, no setup fees. The only commitment Crypto.com, the Crypto.com app users have is to, oh my God, have to make is to own CRO tokens and stake them for 365 days. So when you sign up, apply for the Crypto.com Visa card, you do have to lock them up for 365 days. And then afterwards you can, unbond them and then go and sell them or do whatever you want. Of course, you have to sign up and actually make a Crypto.com account. That's pretty obvious. But then you do need to apply. So tap on the card icon on the far right of the navigation panel. This is just like on your home screen. Select your preferred card tier based on the required cardholder CRO staking or lockup amount. We'll go through all this shortly. Make sure you have a sufficient amount of CRO. So as we said, you do have to lock up CRO tokens. So you're going to have to, basically create a Crypto.com account or already have a pre-established Crypto.com account, buy CRO tokens, and then go into through this process in order to stake them. If you haven't already identified, gone through your verification and everything, and you're submitting your address, you do need to do that, because they are going to ship the card to you. They're going to need to know exactly who you are. essentially, but it is a pretty straightforward process. And then crypto.com will ship the Visa card to you. And you can see here shipped estimated delivery time. So Singapore, 3 to 7 days, APAC 9 to 18, avocados in Australia 7 to 14, so on and so forth, right? So it's pretty well, a week to maybe 3 weeks depending on where you are. But I remember I got mine pretty fast, so yeah, how accurate those are, I'm not too sure. I'm sure we're going to have different results, but give it a week to 3 weeks or so and you will get your crypto.com Visa card. And of course, in the interim, you should be able to utilize the digital card that they give you. So they basically give you all the card details in order to start using it prior. So if you're doing online shopping or something like that, or you could possibly even add that to your Apple Pay and your Google Pay to start using the card straight away whilst you wait for it to be shipped. Of course, the important part is what are the rewards that you actually get? How much CRO do you have to stake? So here you guys can see you've got your, how many cards are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards that are available. So we are operating here in US dollars, but of course you can go through and change that to whatever country you live in and get a rough idea of how much it's going to cost you. But we'll run off US dollars. That's what most people are familiar with, or at least can probably do a quick conversion in their head. But basically you can stake from anywhere from 500 US dollars up to $1 million US dollars to access the crypto.com Visa card, all with varying reward rates and sort of what you get. Obviously, the more you invest, the better your reward. So let's start jumping straight into what each and every card offers. So we'll just skim through what each and every card gets, and then we will go deeper into each and every reward and sort of how they work and what the rewards are, what the restrictions are on that, etc, etc. So basically the Ruby Steel, this is your cheapest card for 500 US dollars. You do get 2% cash back with the monthly cap of 25 US dollars. That is about $1,250 of spending each month. So there's a good chance you're going to hit that cap quite regularly. So it is capped at $25 per month. And then you do also get 6 months worth of Spotify rebates. So if we'll go through how those all work shortly, but that's pretty well it for that card. You should also get, if we have a look, your level up bonus. So you'll see these are not out yet. We'll go through this deeper, but you do also get access to stock deposit bonuses, bank and cash rewards, and card spending, which we already went through, obviously. Now, a lot of these are to come. They are part of the roadmap that we went through in the 2025 review, and you do also get at least a minimum rewards plus level of level 3. So what that gives you access to is trading rebates, higher rewards for Earn Plus, and higher referral bonuses. So now, because I'm in Australia, I don't have access to the higher Earn Plus rewards rate, but I'll just put an example up on screen of sort of what it will look like. We do get, as it says, bonus. I do get the bonus referral and the trading rebates, and I should, because I'm on the Royal Indigo, be earning an extra bonus 0.5%. So you will have to go through and sort of see what it is for your card level, but at least level 3 on the rewards plus. Now, Royal Indigo and Jade Green, that is the one I have. That's a $5,000 stake. You do get 3.5% cash back. Now, that's just for the first year. We'll go through that a little bit deeper. That is capped at $75 per month. There is Crow travel spending that is coming soon. Don't worry about that right now. Priority support, 6 months of Spotify and Netflix. So not just Spotify, but Spotify and Netflix. Airport lounge key access. And then, of course, as we were just talking about, you do get higher stock deposit bonuses, banking cash rewards once that comes out. And then, of course, with the rewards plus, you do get automatic level 5, which I'll put back up on screen yet again. And then, of course, it doesn't say this here, but I'll put it up on screen as well. You do get a 4% staking yield on your CRO. So we'll go through that a bit further in the rewards. But that is another reward, is 4% yield on that $5,000 stake. ICY is a $50,000. You get 5% cash back for the first year. So I just had a phone call, so I totally forgot where we're up to. But I think we're talking about cashback 5% for your first year of spending. There is no limit on that cashback, so you could theoretically just get an infinite amount of cashback. Travel rewards, which are not out yet, so don't worry about that. You do get a couple other things you can see, some coming soon features. There is a lot of stuff coming soon. You do get Spotify and Netflix permanently, so not just for 6 months, but essentially forever, unless they decide to change that. airport lounge key plus a guest, and then of course some other things. So you do get an interest yield of up to 8.5%, and then you do also get a minimum rewards plus station of level 8. So that will give you access to, as mentioned, trading rebates, higher earn plus rewards, and higher referral bonuses. The Obsidian card is a $500,000 stake that gets 6.5% cashback for your first year. Same thing again, no limit. And it is pretty well the same after this point for each and every level, but you do, instead of getting 8.5%, you get up to 9.5% on your yield, and you do get a higher earn or rewards plus station of level 10. And then of course your Prime card, that is not out yet, so it's a little bit gray as to what or how it'll operate, but it is $1 million stake for 8% cashback for the first year at least. But you know, some of these things aren't even out yet, the details on how it's going to work. But then similar to the Obsidian card, you do get, you know, mostly the same rewards, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can see is to be announced, so we won't really focus too much on the Prime card. Okay, so let's jump into each and every reward just a little bit closer. So first one, probably the most important for most people, is going to be that cashback. So yes, you do get 2% cashback, 3.5%, yada yada, as we just mentioned. But of course, you know, I think a lot of people instantly go, oh my god, you know, I spend probably like, you know, how much money are you spending a year? Like 50 grand, probably, you know, 100,000. You know, most people are spending their whole paycheck on different things, whether that's mortgages, insurance, yada yada, right? All the big ticket items. But there are restrictions to this, so you do have to have a look at the restriction of CRO rewards program in restricted markets for the Crypto.com Visa card. So if we do just have a quick skim through this, you'll see things: electric utilities, gas utilities, public utilities. There's some random things, computer software programs, but I think your main ones, you know, if you have a look at some of your big ones, insurance, right? Insurance, these are all massive big ticket items that you won't be getting cash back on, so do consider that. I'm just trying to find, there was a couple of like things like mortgages, fines. I mean, hopefully you're not getting too many fines, right? But there are a few things like that, you know, that really cut out a lot of your big ticket expenditures. What you're really going to be getting cash back on is pretty well your everyday spending. So groceries, shoes, clothing, whatever it might be, right? Just your standard everyday expenditure. So that is a big restriction for your cashbacks, but you know, you do still get, you know, pretty good rewards. All right, so I'm just halfway through editing this. I don't think I explained this part very well. These are restricted merchants in terms of the cashback only. So you can still use your Crypto.com Visa card in order to, you know, pay your insurance and, you know, pay for fines and whatever else. All of these merchants that are excluded from the rewards program, all that means is you don't get cashback on those expenditures. So you can still use your Visa card for those things, for whatever it might be, like mortgages and, you know, whatever it is, your insurances or wire transfers or fines or software, you know, whatever is included in these restrictions, you just do not get cashback for it. So that's the only thing. Yeah, I don't think I explained that very well, but let's continue on with the video. So let's just have a look now at an example of cashback. So here we are. I went to the shops. I'm going to have some of these details blocked out, but essentially I spent $42.50. Now as I said, I'm an Royal or Jade Green Royal Indigo, so I'm getting 3.5% cashback. So 3.5% of $42.50 should be $1.50. You can see there, just like in the green box. So I got $1.50 cashback, and that converts to 9.61 yada 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 crow. So that is then instantly deposited into my CRO wallet, and then, you know, if I want to put that in staking, or if I want to sell it, or whatever I want to do with it, the option is mine. It is instant. I do receive it immediately. So it is a pretty good reward. So of course, how much CRO you get is dependent on the price of Crow, right? Because as we said, you know, you stake CRO, you get your cashbacks in CRO. So if I get, you know, $1 worth of cashback, you know, I spend whatever it might be, like $30 or whatever, and I get $1 cashback, whilst my, you know, my fiat value is going to be $1. How much CRO I receive is going to be dependent on the price of CRO. So if one CRO costs $1, right, I'm going to receive one CRO. But if, you know, one CRO is 10 cents, I'll receive 10 CRO, right? So if that makes sense what I'm saying, right? So you do get, you know, your fiat amount every single time, but how much CRO you receive is dependent on the price of that token, just as is your investment. So that initial investment that you put in, because you are buying CRO and you're essentially investing in that token, and you're locking it up for 12 months, right? That can then fluctuate with the price of CRO. Same with your rewards. So, yes, you might get $1 worth of cash back, but if you hold that, if you then don't sell that and you hold it, that's going to then, fluctuate with the price of CRO. It could double, it could half. Who's to really say, right? The next reward is going to be your rebates. So obviously 6 months rebates for your Ruby Steel and Jade Green, and then permanent for your other tiered cards. So these rewards are up to $13.99 per month. So you do get Spotify and Netflix. They are just standard subscriptions, I believe, from my memory. So if you have some sort of massive family bundle, that has like 6 accounts, and it costs you $25 a month or $30 a month, you do still get fully reimbursed for that $13.99. But then the rest you do not get reimbursed for. You do still get your standard cash back, whatever that might be, your 3.5, 5%, whatever it is, but you do just only get that $13.99 per month rebate. And as mentioned, for these lower tiered cards, it is only for the first 6 months. So after that 6 months, you do lose that reward. And then if you want to try and reattain it, you do need to level up your cards. So if you're on Ruby Steel and you want to, get more Spotify and Netflix, you do need to upgrade your card and stake more CRO. Let's have a look at an example. Same thing again. It is pretty straightforward. Now we are in Australia here, so currency conversions, it's obviously $18.99 is obviously more than $13.99, but we're in Aussie dollars in the land down under. So $18.99 cashback, that is a full reimbursement, and you can see that that was 79 CRO, almost on the dot. And it is that simple. I haven't had any issues with crypto.com, recognizing what is a Netflix and what is a Spotify rebate. Every single time, I've been reimbursed. It's not like I've ever paid for Spotify and they haven't given me the reimbursement. However, they notify it, they do figure it out, and it is a pretty good full reimbursement, of course. Now, lastly, with the cashback, as you guys can see, as we sort of touched on, the cashback does get reduced after the first year. So as you guys can see, spending during the first year is what is the advertised rates. It is all of these rates are the first year rates, but then after the first year, you can see there is some small decreases. So Ruby Steel actually does stay the same, 2% to 2%. Royal Jade Indigo goes from 3.5 to 3. And then as you can see, for Icy White Frosted Rose Gold goes from 5 to 4. Obsidian goes from 6.5 to 5%. So there are some pretty significant decreases depending on how you look at it. And then of course, if you do unstake your CRO rewards, you lose all of your rewards except for if you're on these higher tiers, you do keep 1% and 2% cashback, which I mean is pretty good, right? If you have literally no capital at risk and you can continue to yield some cashback rewards, that is pretty handy if you have unstaked. Let's have a look at the level up staking rewards. So that is just the Visa card program staking rewards essentially, but because they've gone through their rejig, their level up program is what they call it. So as you guys can see, Ruby Steel does not get any, nor does obviously the Midnight Blue. You get no rewards with the Midnight Blue. And this was the old staking rewards. So prior to November 6, 2024, this is what you were receiving, which was essentially just a flat rate, right? So for Royal Indigo, Jade Green, you were receiving just 4%. No ifs or buts. You were receiving 4%. 7 and 7 for Frosted Rose Gold and Icy White. Now they've changed things to where it's more based on the CRO staking yield. So because the Kronos token is proof of stake, users are required to stake tokens in order to yield off of that. So crypto.com shifted to that system where when you buy CRO and lock it up in the Visa card program, you are essentially locking it up in the proof of stake protocol. And based on that, you do get, they have sort of tweaked their reward system. So for the Royal Indigo and Jade Green, you do get up to 4%. Frosted Rose Gold, Icy White up to 8.5, Obsidian up to 9.5. Now there's a very important word that says up to, because if we can find out, as you can see, just underneath, it does say staking rewards are based on-chain emission rate or quoted above rate, whichever is lower. So I do know right now the on-chain rate is about 8%, give or take. I'll put a screenshot up on screen. So, because the reward rate in the DeFi proof of stake protocol, oh my God, can't talk. These guys get 4%, right? They're only up to 4%, but then everyone else, because it's lower than all of these, they only get that 8%, right? If the DeFi, proof of stake, rates were to raise, the emissions were to to go higher, I guess, say up to 9%. These guys will get 8.5. These guys will get 9%, right? It goes off the lower one, whatever is lower. So, as far as I'm concerned, I've never really seen 9.5% on the DeFi wallet, but never say never, I guess, right? But that is, sort of an advantageous reward that you're probably not going to get. You're probably going to be getting just under that. And if we do have a look, we'll just put another example up on screen. In this example, so as we said, we are on the Royal Indigo Jade Green, so we are essentially getting 4% yield. We did get 23.7 CRO. Now this CRO is rolled back into the staking or the Visa card stake, so you do not get access to this unless you unstake the entire, the entirety of what you've got staked for the Visa card. And of course, if you're still in that first 12 months, you cannot unstake that anyway, right? You're bonded for the first 12 months, so you do not get access to these rewards immediately. And if they do just roll in, and if you want to access them, you have to pull out of the Visa card program entirely. So it's a bit of a toughie, that one. Of course, I guess it's a good thing if you're a CRO holder, because then people probably aren't selling as much. But of course, if you're someone who's using the Visa card program and wants access to their rewards, whilst you do get access to things like cashback and the Spotify, Netflix reimbursements, you do not get direct access to these. They are rolled in to the Visa card stake, and they essentially compound, like compounding interest, right? Each week you get paid out, that goes back into the stake, and then you should, it should be a compounding effect, dependent on how the DeFi protocol, however much that is paying out. And then of course the Rewards Plus program, that's another decent reason to be as a part of the Visa card program, especially if you use the Earn program. You can see in this, I didn't mean to highlight that, but in this example of the level 5 station, so that is what the Royal Indigo and Jade Green users get up to, I suppose. You can see there is a bonus 0.5% yield, extra trading rebates, referral bonuses. So just by having the Visa card, you do get access to these bonus rewards. And as you can see, if we scroll down, it does sort of put, you can get, basically a bonus up to 5% on stable coins. You can get up to 0.5% rebates with every trade, and you can get up to a $200 referral bonus for every referral. So there are pretty good rewards in the Rewards Plus. So, and it's probably not something you want, because with this you do have to trade to access the rewards. So just by having the Visa card, you do automatically get up to a particular level, as we said, 3, 5, 8, and 10, depending on your card here. So just a little bonus. This isn't really like what I'd consider a hard reward, because in order to access some of these, trading rebates, you have to like continually trade, and it's pretty small. The Earn bonus is pretty good, and then the referral bonus, I don't think many people are getting referral bonuses, so there's just a little extra reward that you get for being a part of the Visa card program. And the other one that I could see people using would be the Priority Pass Airport Lounge access. So, in order, how do I get the Priority Pass Airport Lounge access? Activate your Visa card program, enable international usage, but you do have to register for a Priority Pass account by completing the online registration on Priority Pass, yada, 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 yada. Activate your account. And then once you get to the, Airport Lounge, just present your Crypto.com Visa card boarding and your boarding pass upon arrival and gain access, right? So by declaring your Priority Pass customer, right? So that is pretty good reward just for having the Visa card. And as you guys can see, it is something that you get with a lot of the lower tiers. And it is something that even if you do later on decide to unstake your Visa card, you do continue to get access to the Airport Lounge key. So if you were to unstake your CRO, you do lose most of your rewards, as we're looking at, with the cashback. You do lose a lot of your rewards, including, rebates and whatever else it might be. But the Airport Lounge key does stay, so that is a pretty good one. Okay, I did just have to shrink this down a little bit in order to get this all on the page. So hopefully it's still nice and clear and makes sense. But here is just a little spreadsheet of the rewards summarized, sort of what yield you actually do receive. Now, of course, as we got up the top here, this is based in US dollars. So, of course, if you're in different countries, it's not going to be $5,000 or $500 or 50,000. I know here in Australia, it's $700 and then 7,000 and then 70,000. So, of course, guys, conversion rates, all that stuff. And then for the cashback, because we're doing this just sort of based on yearly returns, we are just basing this on $10,000 a year expenditure. As we said, most people are probably spending way more than that, right? On mortgages and cars and insurances and things like that. But a lot of things like that are excluded. So, I guess if we're just sort of trying to think conservatively with how much we're probably spending on groceries and shoes and clothes and whatever it might be, we've just gone with $10,000. Of course, that is going to change. And if you're somebody who's got $500,000 in a Visa card program, then you probably are spending more than that. But we've just kept it all the same, just for the sakes of this. If you, if you're watching this video and you spend more than 10,000, or if you spend less, just pretend how that would change things, right? But if we do just have a look, we'll just run through sort of what these rewards are like. So for the Ruby Steel, obviously a $500 investment, 2% cashback at $10,000 a year. That is $200 in cashback. Spotify for 6 months at $14 per month is $84. So that gives you a return on investment of $284. So that's a 56.8% return. So it's a massive return for that lower tier card. Of course, most of it is bulked up by the 2% cashback. But then of course, for the next, so this side of the page, that is just your first year rewards. This side is, second year plus. So of course, after that first year, you do lose the Spotify. So you do just have $500 at 2% cashback, $200 give or take. That's a 40% yield. So you are still yielding really well, like incredibly well on the Ruby Steel card. And as we said, we aren't including a lot of the soft rewards. So things like Rewards Plus, yes, you do get access to that level 3. But how do I really calculate your trading rebates or things like that, right? Or your referral bonuses, right? Like those things are sort of a little bit different. Same with, even if you just, things like your, airport lounge key access, we don't have that on there because how do you put a dollar figure on that? Anyway, so we continue. So the Royal Indigo is a $5,000 investment. 3.5% cashback will get you $350. Spotify, Netflix at $84. 4% interest, that's what we're talking about. That 4% interest yield gets you $200. So that is a return on investment of $718, which is 14.36%. So still a pretty good reward. But of course, in that second year, you do lose Spotify, you do lose Netflix, and your cashback goes from 3.5 to 3%, which drops you down to $500 return, which is about 10%. The Obsidian card, $500,000 at 6.5% cashback. Spotify, Netflix for the entire year. Interest at 9.5%. So that, as we said, that's a pretty high figure. And as we said, we're yielding actually right now at about 8%, 8.5%, give or take. So this could change quite drastically, this figure here. But that gives you essentially 48,486, which is 9.7%. And then of course, the year after that, your cashback does drop. That is the only thing that you do lose, is from 6.5% cashback to 5%. So a small deduction, which barely affects your return, right? It's a couple $100 based on this $10,000 a year expenditure. So 9.67%, pretty good. And with the Prime card, we've just thrown it in here, even though it's not available yet. But here's sort of a rough idea, right? Where you get 8% cashback, Spotify, Netflix, 10% interest. You will yield about 10.61%. If all things go well, and there's no information on what the second year rewards will look like. But if we compare this just to just last year, these were the reward rates based or prior to the Level Up program, which came out and everything. Since then, they've jacked up the cashback rewards and things like that. Of course, a couple things have been lost, like Amazon and X Premium subscriptions, but they're pretty insignificant in the grand scheme of things. So you can see that most of these reward rates have gone up even in the second year, where you do get pretty well. Almost every card is pretty close to 10% cashback, or at least 10% yield in CRO. So that's a pretty good return on investment, in my opinion. But you do have to remember that a lot of these rewards are in CRO, so it is it's dependent on the price of CRO. If the price of CRO doubles, you make shitloads of money, right? But if it halves, chances are a lot of these, cashback and Spotify and Netflix, things like that, they're not going to make up for the potential loss in the investment. So you do have to consider that when you are signing up. But, nonetheless, if CRO, were to not move at price at all, you do get pretty good rates. And as we did mention, the Level Up program, so, there's a lot of new things coming to Crypto.com, including stocks. which are already out in the US, banking, a whole bunch of different things. So with this, the Visa card does give you extra rewards. If we scroll down, here is essentially the same page, but on here we do have, you can see what what your extra rewards are. So this is essentially the rewards plus program, what you get. So you can see, trading rebates, earn plus program. So these are, some of these things are already out. Some of these are coming. So these rewards are already out. So if you are, using the Visa card program, you will start getting trading rebates. You will get extra earn plus rewards. If we scroll down further, stocks, you will get deposit bonuses on stocks with, of course, there are caps on how much you can deposit and how much of a rebate they're going to give you. And then of course the banking, which is coming soon. So these are all things that will be coming, but you will be able to yield on cash up to certain percentages. So these are a couple of rewards that are coming as a part of the roadmap, which we have had a look at. Oh, you can see they're actually ticking stuff that they are launching, but you can see there is a lot more things to come. Of course, yielding on cash, that is heavily tied to the Visa card program. If we have a look, what else? Rewards on Bitcoin could be, of course, your stocks and ETFs, things like that. That is all going to be likely very heavily tied to the Visa card program. So, if you do sign up now, expect some more cool rewards to be coming. And now that we've had a look at some pretty good rewards and everything, of course, there's going to be fees and restrictions. So this is just in Australia and New Zealand. So do go check this out in your own country, but it gives you a rough idea, right? So of course, you've got things like ATM limits, you can see like $2,000 a day. Most of these fees and limits, you're going to see there's such a large sum of money that it's not going to affect most people, right? ATM withdrawal frequency, you can only withdraw 3 times a day. I've never withdrawn cash using my Visa card, so don't worry about that. Okay, top up limits, $30,000 a day, $30,000 a month, or $300,000 a year. If you're spending more than $300,000 a year, well done, right? Like that's not most people, but there are some little things that may be important. Minimum top ups, you got to at least top up $20, which is fair enough. Okay, if we scroll down a bit further, of course, as we touched on, your cashback rewards are limited on the lower tier cards. If we scroll down a bit further, top up fees. So with ATM withdrawal fees, but here you got like your top up fees. Basically, just if you're going to top up your crypto.com Visa card, look to do cash, like a bank transfer, and then top up just with fiat. Don't look to do debit or credit cards, because then you're basically just chipping into your rewards at that point. It makes it a lot less useful, right? So do a bank transfer and top up using cash. If you look to close your account, it's going to be 70 Aussie dollars or 10 Aussie dollars for the Midnight Blue. Card replacement is $4 for the Midnight Blue. That's because it's a plastic card. But any other card is 70 Aussie dollars. I think it's about 50 US dollars if you do need to get your card replaced. So try not to lose your card, or maybe consider using Apple Pay and Google Pay where you can. If you do try to sign up for a Midnight Blue card, there is a $5.99 physical card issuance fee. So that's if you want to sign up to the Midnight Blue. Of course, there is literally no rewards with the Midnight Blue, so I'm not sure why you'd want to sign up to that, other than I don't know, not sure why you'd want to do it. But inactivity fee of $5 per month of inactivity after 12 months of no cardholder initiated financial activity on the card unless activity resumes. So if you don't use the card for 12 months, you will start getting charged $5 a month for inactivity. So do consider that if you're someone who's been holding the card for a long time, not using it. And then a foreign transaction fee. So if, for example, I went to Japan, obviously the yen and the Aussie dollar are not the same currency. So when I went and I spent, used my Visa card on things in Japan that were yen, I did get a 3% foreign transaction fee, which is actually really competitive compared to a lot of other banks. So that is just for the lower tier cards. So the higher tier cards, so your Icy White, Obsidian, they are not subject to that 3% fee, which is really, really good if you're looking for a travel card. I suppose that has pretty competitive fees. You can look at these two cards if you're willing to stake up to $50,000. But other than that, I know that looks like a lot of fees, but you're not really going to be copying any of these as long as you're smart about it. you probably don't want to be withdrawing from the ATM, right? Because you want to spend the money on the card to access the rewards. Top up using, you know, a bank transfer. Chances are you're not going to want to close your account. Don't lose your card. You know what I mean? Like, and then just make sure you're using it, you know, you're being active. So really, I don't think there are a lot of fees. Of course, most of these restrictions will not affect people. You can see that, you know, massive sums of money that won't worry most people. So now we will just go through how to top up the Visa card just on the app. Here we are on the home page. Nice green day for us here in the cryptoverse. So simply, as you can see along the bottom, click on card, press on that. I'm going to have a lot of these details blanked out, but simply just press top up, and then you can top up using, you know, as you can see, Apple Pay. But as we were looking at, if I can find whatever page that was on, I can't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, but there was a fee attached to that. You can top up using your crypto wallet. So if you wanted to, you know, switch your Bitcoin to cash in order to spend, you could do that. Or you can top up using cash. Of course, I don't have any at the moment on the account, but if you were just to deposit using a bank transfer, or maybe you just sold some cryptocurrencies or something prior, you can just top up using that, right? Just, you know, put whatever you want and simply hit where it says insufficient balance. That would say top up, and then you would be topped up. And as you can see, I'll just pull out a little bit there. You know, you just will see the basically confirmation, and your Visa card will be topped up and ready to spend cash. So the Visa card program is a really good rewards program for those looking to get into crypto. Of course, you know, there are a lot of risk involved with any crypto. As we said, the price, you know, however much you invest in CRO, that is subject then to the price of CRO. There is that 12-month lockup period, so a lot to consider. But if you guys are interested, do feel free to click on the video. And then if we scroll down to the description, you guys will see a crypto.com sign up bonus. So there are some terms and conditions with that, but you will be able to access $25 worth of $25 US worth of CRO when you sign up and use the Visa card program. So do feel free to use that. And if you guys did enjoy, remember to hit that subscribe button, like the video. Hopefully this all made sense. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.